Welcome everyone to Soul Tongue Sessions. You are here for a special episode. You're on with
Candace,
Celia,
and Jazz. And y'all, we are celebrating the new year. New Year's Eve vibe going on here. We got a little look for y'all today. 2020 has been a year, okay? A year and then some. So thinking back, think all the way back to January. Believe it or not, COVID had not already had an outbreak in the United States. That was pre-COVID for us. Candace, I know your situation was different because you were not here.
I've been wearing a mask for about a year now. Yeah,
exactly. So thinking back over the year, I mean, as a society, as a Black society especially, we had a lot happen. Y'all remember Kobe passed away. That was at the start of the year. That feels like 2 or 3 years ago already. That was this year.
We should have listened to the signs of the times. That should have let us know right there. 2020 wasn't gonna act right. You took Kobe.
Right at the start of the year, that happened. I mean, we had so many ups and downs this year as a society and personally. So what were some of y'all's highlights and lowlights for 2020?
I'm curious, D. What's your highlight?
You always be throwing it. I'm always like, is she about to say first? And then she'd be like, D.
That means I need time to think.
You know, it's funny. I saw a post or I think I was scrolling through my pictures, my phone, and I saw a picture that I had posted at the end of 2019. And I was like, 2019 has been a bitch. 2020, I'm ready for you.
Not so much.
Well, I am not a prophetess because clearly I was wrong. Man, yeah, 2020 threw us all. I mean, everybody, right? But I do think that I had some really great moments, you know, in terms of being able to find employment and move into my own place later on in the year. Like that was probably the highlight of my year, to be quite honest. Being able to know that like my family's good and they're safe and they're healthy. You know, with COVID, we did go through a lot of different, at the beginning of last year, we had a couple of different health scares in my family. So then this year, being able to see everybody be healthy and like good, that was a blessing. Just watching like my little brothers grow up into just being like little young boys and just full of life and love. Like they're my heart. So I love that. So it's been a roller coaster, you know, like there's been some really good highs and then there's like lows, you know, where you're just kind of like, I don't know what's happening today. But I think 2020 has shown us who's really in charge.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't anybody down here. So, you know, we just have to kind of keep going. I'm really hoping and praying that 2021 shows itself to be a year of like rest, I guess, or like just like settling. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like recovery.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's a good word.
Good. We need it. Mm-hmm. Candace, what about you?
So, we started with COVID in late December in Korea. So in January, we were all in masks, and that was part of life. I'd come home and found out about what was going on in Korea, and I come home to visit the beginning of January. So I was like covering my face because I was like, Mom, there's something going around in Asia. And I was in the airport, and I don't know if I got it or not. And I remember calling basically the local CDC here in Missouri, and I was like, there's something going around in Asia. It's on the news. And I was in Incheon Airport, you know, like everybody come through Incheon. Everybody come through. Right. So, and I remember the lady was like, oh, you don't have anything to worry about. It doesn't work like that. How working?
Wow.
And so I was like, Yeah, because I got a sinus infection. I was taking medication for it. Nothing was working. I was in pain for weeks, right? It took weeks to just clear itself up. And so then coming back to America, everything was shut down, da da da. And I was like, Mom, remember that time when I had got sick? I think I had it, girl.
No.
And she said, Black people have been saying that for a while. So I was like, girl, I think I had COVID. But that was the beginning. So I think right there, my 2020, the lowest point is just that validated skepticism I have of this country. Yeah. But I'm back home. I get to be with my best friend who makes me feel like life is worth living, who keeps reminding me of that every day. And my family's here. Highest point, my sister is having a baby.
Yay!
She's the youngest one, so she's bringing life into this world, and all you could do is be excited about something like that. Yeah. So it makes hope. It's not. I'm one of those people who tend to go melancholy and stay melancholy for a while. So it makes me have to have hope, and that's as high as I can get right now. Is there's a need to have hope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think on that note, not to get all preachy, but you know how, like,
yeah.
you know how the Bible talks about, like, we are not a people without hope. Like, we have hope in the midst of this crazy year, in the midst of this crazy pandemic, in the midst of these crazy race wars, everything that is going on. Like, I think 2020 reminded me that we are a people of hope, and that Black people, we are resilient, we are beautiful, we are strong. Like, all those things have just been bubbling up throughout the year. It has been a roller coaster of a year for sure. Of course, my highlight was getting married.
Hey.
Right before the pandemic broke out, like literally weeks before. Like, and even that, like, that was God's grace in the timing of our wedding, because literally weeks later, everything was shut down. Wasn't no getting married. Like, you know what I mean? So it's just been a blessing for us and for our whole family. And really, like, my family members have been blessed, like, really just seeing God's grace play out in our lives. Despite everything that's going on, we've had our health, we've had financial stability, having a job
Right.
throughout 2020, not having to worry about rent or getting evicted, like all those things that so many people are struggling with right now, we have not had to come up against. So I'm really, really grateful. And I think 2020 has just brought me back to a place of gratitude and thankfulness in everyday things, in the small things, in the big things. So yeah, that was my 2020 in a nutshell.
Oh, such a positive note. Which definitely leads us into things that we are hopeful for in 2021, right? Things we're here for in 2021.
Let's do it.
Let's
get
do
into
it.
So today's episode is a sip along. So y'all need to go ahead on and pause this video right now, grab a drink, come back and join us. So we're going to be talking about the top 10 things that we are here for in the new year in 2021. Yes. So before we get to that list, ladies, you got to tell us what's in your cup. But Candace, I don't think I already see that color, that texture. I don't think I want to know.
You already know.
So D, what's in your cup?
Y'all would like a reference point, please refer back to our previous episode where we talk about eggnog.
I can't.
It's spiked.
All right, Candace, show us the eggnog.
Show us.
Go ahead.
See, it looks innocent, right? It's just a little cup, a little something.
It looks like
it's about half rum, half eggnog. Keep them proportions accurate. So you can't even really feel the eggy part of it, Jazz. It goes down, it slides down real smooth like.
Okay, don't use the word slide. D, what you got in your cup, girl?
I got a little red wine.
Nice.
I got this wine ornament from Costco, this huge box of like, I think it's like 16 bottles of red wine. They're like these little mini bottles. And so counting down to Christmas.
Okay. And I got my whiskey and lemonade that I'm sipping on.
Fancy.
And I see that fancy straw.
Yeah. Got my little straw, little festive touch with it.
I like that Dee drinks her wine with a straw. So classy.
I know. And it's better when you got lipstick on anyways. You could just like,
yeah. No, I got lip prints all over my stuff. I don't mind it.
All right. So Candace.
I don't mind it either. I haven't mastered the art of not getting it all over my face in my cup when I sip. So I'm like, oh, I need a straw to help me, stay classy.
That is the art. I mean, it's all over the place. Otherwise, you've mastered it.
All right, so Candace, you got to kick us off with this list. What is your number one thing that you are here for in 2021?
I wrote it down because I didn't want to make no mistakes. I didn't want to leave nothing out. I didn't want to be passé about the moment, because 2020 has taught us one thing, and that is to be intentional about 2021. So one thing I am here for in 2021 is prioritizing mental health. I think it's something that we really started to acknowledge and to consider and to take seriously in 2020, given everything that we're going through. But making that a priority in 2021 is a good look, like a really good look.
So what does that look like for you specifically?
So I'm an AmeriCorps Vista. I mentioned this before. I serve in the AmeriCorps, and I think one of the things that my supervisors encourage me to do, encourage all of us to do, is to have those mental health days. Like, if you wake up and you're just not feeling it, to be honest about that with yourself, and to take the day. Like, that's what it's there for. And you don't have to like play sick. You don't have to explain nothing. You wake up and you're like, nope, not today. That's valid. That's enough. That's reason enough to not do it, to not work, to take some time outside. So that's what it looks like for me. And I have those days because I tend to internalize the work that I do and the hearts of everybody around me, and it gets quite heavy. And I think recently here we had like 70-degree weather one day out of the week. Every other day was like 40. And so I was like, nope, I'm not going to sit in my house on Zoom on a 72 degrees. I need the day. And I took the day and I went for a 4-hour hike on a trail. Yes. So it's not even just take the day. It's like being physical, doing something that gives you life. Yeah.
I like what you said, though. You were like, in the beginning when you wake up and you're not feeling it, being honest with yourself. Because I know for us, we'll be not feeling it and power through. You know what I mean? And that just like, that can wreck your day, and you're not in the right headspace. Like, it really does not set you up for a good and productive day. So being honest with yourself off top and being like, you know what? Not today. And the fact that you can kind of like call in, no questions asked, like, hey, I need a day, and leave it at that. I think that's great.
I think what happens if you're not honest with yourself, because I think a lot of us will still hear that and still say, okay, whatever, I'll power through anyway, is that you either make yourself lie down, or your body will decide for you. Or your mind will decide for you, and everything just shuts down. So it's that moment where you wake up and you feel it, like, not today. If you don't do it then it'll add up. And then eventually there's no decision to be made. Your body's made it for you. Yeah. And I fear that more than any potential backlash of taking days off. So, yes.
So have you guys found that like the PTO system in America is more user friendly than in Korea? Because I know I found that for sure.
Sure.
I think it depends on what job you have.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because I would love to take a mental health day some days, but I know that if I do, I'm leaving 27 of my babies with only one teacher. And that's a huge burden to carry. So for me, sometimes I do wake up not feeling it, and I do have to power through, and I make that choice for myself. But then we are also teaching our kids how to take care of themselves socially and emotionally. So if I'm not having a good day, I let my kids know up front. Hey guys, not having a good day today. Really would like for y'all to be on your P's and Q's and really just kind of rock with me today, because I'm not feeling it. Or if I have a moment in the day where something triggers me, like, you know what, you guys, that was really frustrating. I'm gonna go ahead and turn my camera off for a few minutes, and I'll be right back. You know, and then my
That's
will
good.
get in, and she'll take over, and then like the kids know, and they are, because they're also becoming more aware for themselves and for one another. I'm getting chats. I hope you feel okay. I hope you're doing all right. You can do it, Miss Nugent. You okay, Miss Nugent? We love you, Miss Nugent. Take your time, Miss Nugent. Like, they understand. And so I think that for me, even though I have to power through sometimes, I'm still trying to be more aware, and then also be more open with that with my kids, because I'm from old school. Like, I ain't gotta tell you nothing. Just, you know, but I think it's become a lot easier for me to let my guard down a little bit with my kids in that way.
Yeah, I love that.
Be the example. I like that.
Love that, teaching them that.
Yeah.
One thing that my boss always says is family comes first. And it's just been a crazy year with, you know, me knowing people that have gotten sick, my coworkers having family members that have gotten COVID, you know, like different situations pop up. And I've watched my boss handle it with our team. And she's like, always, you know what, family comes first. If you've got to hop off this call to go take your kid to the doctor, that's what you got to do. You know what I mean? And so seeing that dynamic and that grace is something that I did not see in Korea. So it's refreshing to have that here, and to know that, like, if something did come up, or if I need a day, I can let my boss know, and it's not, they're not going to grill me. They're not going to be emailing me, blowing me up. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to give me that day. So ladies, we got to sip to that. Number one, prioritizing mental health. Yes. All right. To our listeners, if you ain't got your drink yet, come on, you got to catch up. Catch up. So my thing that I want to add to our list is more Black male mentors and Black males in the human services field in general. Because back in my undergrad, when I was studying psychology, we didn't have a lot of Black men in my psych major, in my cohort. In grad school, we damn sure didn't have any, not a single one. So just like being in this field for like the past 10 years and having different jobs, there's not a lot of male presence in general, let alone Black male presence. And I've seen the difference that it makes having young Black boys have a Black mentor that they can look up to. So that's something that I want to see. And I want like society to normalize Black men in the field of social service, because it's so much needed. And I think there are things that female volunteers and female mentors can't teach young boys and young men, can't model for young boys and young men in the way that they need. So that's something that I really, really hope to see in 2021.
I'm sipping to that. Cheers. Cheers to Black men in general.
I think that connects with one of mine, which is volunteering, and just being able to, I know that with, you know, COVID and everything, it's a lot more limited, but then there are a lot of opportunities for online volunteering and online mentoring. I saw just the other day, a church is starting a program called Awana, which is like a youth Bible ministry, and they're looking for volunteers, and they're looking for people to participate, and they do need volunteers, men and women, to join in and to mentor and to, you know, love on and care for our younger generation. And so I'm looking forward to me personally being able to volunteer in different ways this upcoming year, and then to just kind of see what the community of volunteering is where I live, and then what that's like in other different pockets around the state and around the country. So definitely here for volunteering.
I love that. I was in Awanas in elementary school.
Whoa.
So when I saw that, I was like, oh, yes, that is going to be one thing that I definitely do in 2021.
Love it. Yeah, and I think, well, like, just virtually, there are a lot of opportunities. I think people might think that there aren't right now because, you know, we're not in person with everything. But there actually are. So I would encourage our listeners, you know, whatever city you're in, look it up. Volunteers are very much needed, because kids are being tossed back and forth from school to home, virtual learning, all of this. They're having a hard time processing. We need mentors. We need volunteers very much at this hour. So,
that is true. Sip, sip. A little shameless plug. I'm a volunteer coordinator for an organization here in St. Louis. So if you do hear this and you're thinking, I want to volunteer, you can contact me at candace@yourwords.org. And I will definitely plug you into a way to help out kids in the St. Louis area.
Nice.
Love it.
I love that.
Is it my turn?
Yeah. Hit us with your next one.
This one is a hard one for me. I'm still wrapping my head around it. Maybe in 2021 I'll be better at it, but I am here for family time in 2021. I think 2020 set us up for something unique and different, for no excuses about not hanging out with your family, because that's all we had. And so I just don't want that to go away when things start to settle and become normal. Especially, I think, Jazz, you mentioned Black men. Like this, during 2020, I saw so many fathers teaching their kids how to ride bikes, like in the parking lots. And I was like, whoa, I didn't even know that many kids had fathers. Like, look at all of these men that are here doing this. And I'm here for that in 2021, that we don't lose that I don't lose it. Like, this is the first full year that I'm going to spend in the States with my family and just making that a thing. I see my mom and my sister almost every day, and it feels good. And I don't ever want to get in the grind of life again and forget that there's a such thing as family, and that requires effort and energy.
Yeah, it does. It's different. It's a lot different being stateside for all of us now. Redefining, re-navigating that dynamic with family. But one thing that I love and I'm grateful for, of course, is technology. FaceTime has kept our family close. House Party has kept our family close. We'll hop on a House Party app in a minute and do like games, or half the time we get on there and just talk. And I remember this summer, at the height of all the protests, just after George Floyd had been murdered, our family got on House Party and we just talked about how we were feeling about everything that was going on. And it was my entire family, my parents, my siblings, their kids, everyone was there. And we just kind of like had a debrief together, and it was so beautiful and it was so necessary, especially at the height of everything. So just to have that, even virtually, it did a lot for us. So just making that space, making that time, prioritizing family time is always going to be something I'm here for.
Wow. Sip, sip.
Sip to that.
I think I'm double sipping at this point. My bad.
I know. They can be like, why is her cup empty?
Right.
No,
That's what I'm asking myself. Like, how am I halfway through? I think along with that one, my other thing that I was here for this year, or 2021, is just more Black-owned businesses. Did y'all see? I mean, we got like little logos now that say Black-owned that go on the bottom of everything, and I just like, we've always had Black-owned businesses. This is not new, and I want to believe that like the first of many businesses were Black-owned, and we just couldn't get the credit that we deserved for that. But with everybody aware now that Black-owned businesses exist, they provide quality and products and services. I want 2020 just to be an increase of that. Not more people starting businesses, that would be great, but just more light to be shined on those businesses. That's the rum talking.
That's the eggnog. The eggnog talking.
The eggnog coming through. This is why I usually drink wine when we do these things. But no, yeah, I think I don't want it to be a fad. I'm worried about that. And I don't want it to be something that we did in 2020 when times were tough and that we forget in 2021. All those people are still going to have their businesses. More businesses are going to come about, and keeping that light on minorities who are running their own thing is a big deal. And I want more of that in 2021. I want more of it every year until it becomes something that is normalized to the point it's not a conversation piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you said, quality businesses and the light being shown on quality, like, because there's like this assumption that Black owned is
Less quality.
it's less than, it's not quite, you know what I mean? But there are so many businesses that are quality, top notch, great products, great customer service, great delivery, you know what I mean? So just getting that spotlight where it should be on people that have been breaking their backs running their business for years and years and years and never getting like the credit that they deserve, you know? So seeing that, definitely here for it.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Sip to that.
I'm gonna go to the barbecue side. I want to go to.
I'm gonna take smaller sips because
I know.
my vocabulary is starting to go.
Your
first sip.
So something I'm here for, student loan debt cancellation. Okay.
Can we snap and clap and cheer, like all of that?
Key word though, cancellation. Not forbearance, not income driven repayment, not push it back. And you know, don't get me wrong, what they did during COVID, this relief period that we've had, I'm thankful for. I'm not gonna lie. I'm thankful that they, you know, doing what they doing. But that will come to an end at the end of January. So Biden Harris, what we talking about? We gonna cancel this thing or not? Because can you imagine for our generation especially having this burden lifted, this student loans that's been beating you down since you graduated, knocking on your door, Sally Mae, Navient, all them. She done morphed and changed her identity like 3-4 times now.
Got them secret passports.
Trying to come back with a new name. Like, ma'am.
Yeah, we know it's still you.
You are.
Ma'am. Fall back.
We know your phone number. Ain't none of our friends got 1-800 numbers. We know it's you, Sally.
Girl. But can you imagine debt cancellation? That frees us up. That's what we need. Our generation, we need that.
Let's sit in that pocket for a minute. Because there's a generation, particularly of Black women, to go through not just higher education, but even like graduate and postdoc and all of this, right? All of us went through that. And now we're all burdened by the debt. So if that was canceled, like what does that free us up to do? Like what does that create in America? Like what happens as a result?
Right.
Like think about that. Do you know how many businesses we can run effectively? You know how many, like how we can impact society in a greater way? Mm-hmm. You know how many of us would become the Rockefellers of the future?
Right. Investments, opportunities, and being able to invest in not just your future, but in generational future.
In generations.
Yeah. Like you'd be able to set wealth up for yourself and for
That's what I'm talking about.
Not just like, oh, I don't have, you know, not taking that money and just doing whatever with it, but being very strategic with it and being able to be like, okay, where can I put this to really create something long lasting for myself and for my community? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like,
this is what I'm saying.
Just what we would do with it is
I think
that's why I bring that up.
Yeah, I think it's such a shame because our generation is so creative. We're so innovative. We're so like, we work hard despite the stereotypes. Like, you know, we have ideas, we have things, ambitions, goals, dreams, all of it. But like being burdened by this student loan debt is stifling, and we need to be free.
And to make it tangible, it's not like, oh, we feel the weight of pressure on our shoulders. A burden of student loan debt means that we have to take jobs that are beneath us. In fact, that we have to take jobs that we don't have the freedom to create them because we need to work in order to pay this bill that come every month, in addition to the other things that we got to take care of. Mm-hmm. It's not like, oh, it's kind of annoying to have to pay a bill. It's like, that's money that I could put towards something else now. That's energy that I could focus to something, like Dee said, that's going to last. I think that's when you start to see a new generation of founding fathers, and they happen to be female and colored. And that's what we need. That's really what America represents. Mm-hmm. But you burden us with student loan debt, and we have to keep fighting this thing that we got in order to make us equal and better. I feel like it's
that interest. It's the interest. That student loan interest, that's what kills. That's what it is.
I don't mind paying what I owe you, but that the principal is fine. That's what all of the stuff you added on to. I have no interest in paying interest. No.
Let's sip to that, y'all.
Hey,
this is a hot topic. We go on about student loan debt forever.
Well, you know what? I think I know one thing that you can do once you kind of get that student loan debt off your shoulders a little bit is
What's that?
being able. I'm gonna combine these two: to travel and to make memories, new memories with old friends. Like being able to travel to see somebody, and I mean, I might just be looking at the two people that I want to go travel to see right now, but just like being able to reconnect in person with people that you haven't seen in a year or in years. You know, I know that we all had plans for 2020 to travel and to see friends and to experience life and do life together now that we were stateside, and all of that got canceled.
Yeah.
You know, so being able to travel again safely without like that coronavirus question mark on your shoulder, you know, and then being able to make new memories with your family and your friends and your loved ones. Like I am definitely here for that in 2021. I cannot wait to get on an airplane and go visit my grandmother. Like it's the first thing I'm going to do. I have my Southwest points. All I need is the green light and I'm on a plane. Like I honestly, right now, I just want to go and I'll just stand outside the door and be like, hi, mama. Like, I don't even care. But you know, I know she won't be able to just stand by the door and just see me. She's going to want to hug me. So I got to.
Man, I feel you. I get my statement every month or every couple of weeks for my Delta frequent flyer miles. And it's like.
They're called Skymiles on Delta. I know because I got that one right there. That hit hard. I got like maybe 2 plane tickets of miles. I had plans. Nope, not this year.
Yep. We're going to get those plans. We're going to get those plans in.
Let's sip to that. Sip to seeing each other again in real life. Aww.
So another thing that I'm here for in 2021 is self-care and new hobbies. So y'all, I recently took up a new hobby.
Okay.
It's watercolor painting.
Wow.
Yeah. So I love adult coloring books. That's been my jam for like a handful of years now, and I got really good at it. So I was like, I need something new, you know, something fresh. So for work, we did a paint and sip, like a little watercolor skyscape of the city of Charlotte, and it came out better than I thought, okay? But I was like, I still got some room for improvement, so I definitely want to dig into watercolors in the new year and see what it feel like.
That sounds really cool. I love that you start a hobby and you commit to it to perfect it. Like, because I remember when you started the adult coloring book and you bought me like 3 of them. I colored half a page of one. And I was like, I can't. I don't know how to color inside the lines in no way, metaphorically, realistically, none of that.
Oh man.
But you do love a coloring book, yeah.
Yeah, like the what is it, like even the paint by numbers?
Yeah.
It's always really amazing to me how professional, well, I won't say professional, but how like semi-professional it looks when it's done. And I think it's on my Christmas list, so we'll see what happens during Christmas if I get one. But I think that's a really fun hobby.
Which one did you write down? Were you specific? Because I think you would do good with a Van Gogh paint by numbers, Starry Story Night by Delia. I could rock with it.
I wasn't specific, but my sister had one and I saw it one day and I was like, oh, I want that. I was like, put that on my Christmas list. So we'll see.
Cool.
I think that's fun.
You said self-care too, Jazz. What's your self-care routine? Do you have one?
My self-care routine is under construction right now. So I have journals. I'm big on journaling, like handwritten journals. And then I have an online one too. So I like to do both depending on my mood. So that's something I'm going to sit down, decide with me, myself, and I, what are we doing for self-care in 2021? What are practical things I can implement on an regular basis to, keep it up.
That's cool. That's honest. I like that. D, is it the bathtub for you?
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Candace, do you like to journal?
Do I like journals? I mean, I have to because my previous counselor Jasmine, made me a journal when I came back from doing trauma work in Eastern Europe, and I'm still working my way through it. When I started doing therapy here in the States, I started doing the online journaling, and that was really helpful because you get to just type at the speed of thought. However, it was like through the sites. I don't have a record, like a personal record I could keep, pick up a book and whereas like the one Jazz made me was pretty, like I always know where it is and how to go back to it. I don't think I like it. I feel like it makes you very vulnerable, but it works. Like it's a useful tool for sure. Mm-hmm. So yeah, if any of our listeners want some help with journaling, talk to our resident counselor here for a nominal fee. She can make you one too.
Dee, what does your self-care look like?
Definitely looks like, me in my bathtub.
Yep.
Several times a week. I did just get a bunch of bath bombs for Christmas, so that will be enjoyed. I think also for me, self-care has grown into like cooking. You all know that I did not rock with cooking prior to the last couple of years. Like, and that when I said, look, I'll just be honest, I hated it. Like, I could take a $300 food budget that somebody would have in the grocery store, and I could use that same $300 in takeout and make that joint work. And Jazzy's laughing because she knows the struggle, okay? But it wasn't a struggle for me because I had a system. But I have discovered in 2020 that I actually really enjoy the process of figuring out how to cook. Mm-hmm. I don't get it right all the time, so I still am making mistakes, but I'm actually enjoying learning it. And then I feel really good when I sit down to eat my meal. Mm-hmm. When I sit down, when I look at my fridge, I'm like, oh, I made that, and I have leftovers, and it's good. I feel really good about it. Mm. So that is also going to be part of my self-care coming up in 2021 is learning how to make different dishes, and then also learning how to make like my family's cultural dishes. Mm-hmm. I think that's something that I'm really looking forward to as well. Mm-hmm. Learning how to make like my mom's recipes. Mm-hmm. So I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, wow, Dee. You did make some ribs the other night. That looked bomb.com.
Yeah.
So I like this new self-care situation. I feel like we can all benefit from what's about to go down in 2021.
I'm wanting to a plate.
Come on, I stay trying to get a plate from y'all, and I ain't too proud to beg.
Dee, did you also take up a hobby this year? Were you doing calligraphy?
Yeah, so I started doing calligraphy once the pandemic hit, and I kind of needed something to occupy like my hands. Like I felt like I needed something to do. And so I started taking up calligraphy, which is actually really, for me, it was really difficult as a left-hander. Mm-hmm. And so I started to figure out how to do it properly. And there's tons of people on Instagram and YouTube who show you how to do it. So I'm getting better. And then once I started working, obviously my hobby time kind of cut down, but definitely something I want to keep doing is working on that too. So that'll be fun.
Nice.
Love it.
I like that.
And my professional hobby is TV and movies, so that'll keep going as well.
Right. And that's valid.
Let's drink to that, y'all. All right.
Last but not least.
Number 10 on the list of things that we are here for in 2021.
Drum roll.
Black love.
Talk about it.
Hey.
I'm a priest.
He already did it. I am here for Black love, y'all. I love seeing Black love stories. I love seeing our stories told in the media, because I feel like for so long and growing up, we didn't have that representation. So having it now is like, yes. And seeing like just what we are and what we could be, especially for people who didn't grow up with that imagery in the household, just seeing that everywhere is really beautiful. I've always been a fan of Black love, still am to this day. So yeah, seeing it. And even just like the TV show, I don't know if y'all watch the show Black Love on Oprah's network. I love that show, love seeing the stories told, and I love the creators, how they're so intentional in bringing different Black couples in, interviewing them, you know, older generation couples, younger, newer couples, just seeing the spectrum of what all Black love entails and telling our stories in a beautiful way. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Both on screen and personally.
Yes. Sip to that. Oh, it's getting a little thick at the bottom of that glass.
You sipping, do you agree?
I sip in the hopes of, I don't know. We've talked about this.
Talk about it. Go on.
I'm okay. You know what I'm here for in 2021? I can't be as specific and say Black love. I'm here for love in general. Can I just say that? Is, you know, that's not everybody's ministry, you know, and I don't think that that's my ministry. I just really don't. Like, I love Black men. I do. I don't see myself in a long committed relationship, i.e. marriage, with one. But like they're my brothers, you know, they're my uncles, my father, like that. Black men made me the woman that I am. But I just think my kids are not going to be Black. I just feel like my house is a multicultural house, and that's my ministry. I've always felt that way. Like I've known it since I was like 19. Like, yeah, that's who I am. That's in line with how I live my life. And it's not everybody ministry, you know. It's not
I feel like you feel like we attacking you right now.
I feel, you know, I don't. You know where I feel the attack coming from? The comment section below this situation.
But wait.
Somebody gonna have something to say.
I want to know what happened in your life at age 19 that made you come to this conclusion.
Let me time out and let's talk about the framing of that question, because the frame is a lie. Like nothing had to happen for me to want to not be.
You said no. That wasn't a negative framing. That was your mind that made that a negative frame. So
okay, that's possible.
That's possible. A question: what happened in your life at 19? Because that's a very specific age for you to go back to and say that I've known since I was 19 that this is what I wanted for my life. So my question is, what happened at age 19 that made you come to that conclusion?
I went to college. I think that was just the first time I started to think about marriage. It was the first time that I don't want to say it was the first time I was proposed to, but it was the first time someone presented me with the idea of marriage. And I was like, marriage. Oh yeah, okay, no, my husband isn't Black. Like that's not how when I started to have to paint the picture, you know, there's a lot of languages in our house, there's a lot of kids in our house. Most of my kids don't look like me or my husband, and my husband doesn't look like me, and everybody's different, and that's something that we contend with, and that's the representation that we contribute to the world as a family. So I guess, yeah, nothing. Someone asked me, and I was like, no, that's not who I am. I didn't want to bring that story up, but there it is. Same question at 22.
I think it's a beautiful picture, though. Like, I think that you knowing what you want and having that picture in your heart and in your mind, like, that's a beautiful picture. And if y'all gonna come for Candace in the comments, you're gonna have to go through me.
Oh, don't make me cry. You know I've been drinking these tears come easy now. What?
Ain't nothing wrong with that, Candace. Candace is still here for Black love. She still loves all of y'all.
Yes.
It's not.
I'm a product of Black love in some form of it. Like, yeah. Of course.
No. Like, don't get me wrong, Candace. I'm not here for what you here for.
Right. I understand us.
And when I say Black love, that's like the family unit. Regardless of who you marry, you still have a Black family. You got a Black mama, a Black sister. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like all of that is Black love. So that's what I mean when I say that. Like, I'm here for that. I'm here for the Black family unit, for couples, for kids, for like all of that as a whole.
Okay. Then I apologize for my defensive-ness in that. I think I was projecting a little bit because I've had this conversation with other people, especially Black men, like, why you don't date Black men, right? Like, Black women would say that to Black men who got white people. Like, it's the same thing. And so I feel like I've always kind of had to explain like the decision that I made. But who knows? Time is ticking, and I might just be like, all right, come on, Tyrone, let's do it.
One thing I will say about you, Candace, is your family and your kids will know who they are.
Yes.
Like, that's not even like a thing. So for those of y'all who don't know Candace personally and intimately, her children will know who they are.
Yes.
Like, bottom line.
Thank you.
Well, how about this for number 11? I just added one, and we need to sip on that real quick.
Okay, let's sip.
But I'm adding a number 11, and number 11 is not having to explain your choices, okay, in 2021.
Can we sip again right now? Like, yes.
I'm about to just go ahead and.
D took the strike.
Fuck it.
I can't one shot eggnog. I wish I could, because that's a moment to do it.
Please. I can't watch that, please. All right, y'all listeners, if you have made it this far with us, you're feeling as good as we are right now, because I know I am warming up. So thank you for tuning in to our New Year's Eve special. We want to wish everybody a very happy holiday, happy 2021, and we can't wait to see y'all in the new year.
Happy New Year.
Next year.